Okay, before we get started today, let me address the giant pastel elephant in the room. I'm aware that my shirt is a rather unique color and design. I am also aware that I will take some heat for this in the comments. I'm perfectly fine with that because I really like Lucky Charms. Well, I'm a fat man. I like anything with a lot of sugar. Lucky Charms just happens to be today's dish. So whatever heat comes my way, I feel I am deserving of, and I will accept it. Now, our video is some infamous wrestling receipts. For any of you who don't know, a wrestling receipt is generally when a wrestler will respond to something, a stiff shot, or anything that hurt them, a blown spot that hurts them. A receipt is when you get potatoed, get jacked up in return for that. You can also receive a receipt for backstage actions. You know, if you were being a douche backstage, said something inappropriate, whatever the case may be. But a receipt is basically getting clocked for real. I would imagine. Oh, and this is from the Wrestling Flashback channels. As always, guys, please make sure and support them.
Means that the action can become all too
gotta have the
receipt refers to the
yeah. That I was just going to bring that one up. The Lesnar one. That was a solid receipt.
A wrestler accidentally cracks his
Deserved.
stiff in the jaw,
100%
to which they can expect
deserved.
something hard to come right back. In this video, we look back to these times.
I guess I didn't have to explain it all because he was going to do it more eloquently than I could.
Giving a receipt back with a stiff chair shot. In 1997, as guest referee at SummerSlam, Shawn Michaels would clock the dead man with a chair at the end of the match, where he would reluctantly give Brett the win, and he and Taker would enter their own program. However, Michaels realized that the blow was too forceful, and to end their Hell in a Cell.
Oh boy, I didn't even know about this being a receipt. See, was that bad, guys? I mean, I'm not going to stand up for Shawn Michaels, especially when it comes to Undertaker. Undertaker's one of my favorites of all time. Shawn Michaels isn't.
Win, and he and Taker would enter their own program.
Did he hit him?
Michaels realized that the blow was too forceful.
He hit him. He hit him with the seat, right? Didn't he? He doesn't have it turned around, does he?
Taker would enter their own program.
Oh Jesus Christ! You can't have that chair turned the wrong way.
The blow was too forceful.
I can't tell. Oh man, I didn't mean to push that here. I want to go frame by frame. Ah, he's got it the right way. He didn't land it. Oh, okay. He landed it at an awkward angle. I would imagine Taker took some of the framework of the chair. That's happened to me a number of times.
And to end their Hell in a Cell match,
it wasn't a very square shot
from the dead man as his personal receipt that really rung his bell. In 2005, Randy Orton.
I may have a different way of looking at that. Because that one that Undertaker landed, I think, well, you guys have seen my intro. That was another chair shot for me. I wouldn't have personally considered that a receipt. I guess it could have been. I don't know if the guys involved, if Undertaker and Shawn Michaels said it was, or if it's just assumed by people. Looked like a legit chair shot to me, but I was kind of messed up the way I would take chair shots. So
ended up rocking Taker with the chair, where he mistakenly caught
this
the
one was
with
bad.
the lip of the chair, which ended up causing a huge gash. Undertaker told him backstage
he
that
missed.
his receipt would be coming.
When that chair came down, I caught him with the lip of the chair, and I ripped the skin off of his forehead all the way down to the bridge of his nose, and he was covered in blood.
I remember that one. Yeah, that was he missed. I have a couple scars in the back of my head. See, because I did the hardcore style, I'm aware that there are going to be accidents, things like that can happen. My buddy Dave one time, and we actually got written up in one of the national wrestling magazines for this. I have to see if I can find it somewhere. I have the magazine. We were doing a hardcore match around the outside. He took a chair and went to go across my back. Now, it was nobody's fault. I moved unexpectedly. I didn't realize, the chair shot was coming quite then. I moved unexpectedly. He was off a little bit, and he laid the side of the chair across the back of my head. That was a blood fest. I'll have to tell you guys that story. I do have some pictures I know of that night, because I remember my wife saying it not only looked like I killed a bunch of people, but I ate them too, because the blood had run from the back of my head into the corners of my mouth. See, that didn't piss me off. It was an accident.
He just looks at me. Don't worry, kid. Your receipt's coming.
Yeah.
It wasn't until a few weeks later at Armageddon.
God damn. I don't think I'd want to hear those words from Undertaker. Oh, Randy, that sucks to be you,
Don't
dude.
worry, kid. Your receipt's coming.
It wasn't until a few weeks later at Armageddon 2005 where the dead man got his revenge, and he delivered a thunderous chair shot to the head of Randy Orton.
But he's in trouble! Payback!
During
Again, I don't know if these are legitimate receipts. They could be. And it could just be my style of wrestling. I wouldn't consider that a receipt. That would, if I had put that chair shot in and Undertaker hit me like that, I would be like, good, good chair shot.
WrestleMania 23, Batista and Undertaker would go at it for the World Heavyweight title. Early on in the match, Batista unknowingly hit Taker with a stiff shot in his ear. Taker wouldn't take too kindly to this and would keep a note of this throughout the match. Later in the contest, he would go to hit Batista with a stiff right hook that got him right on the jaw. Batista fell back against the ropes, looking kind of dazed.
The Undertaker maybe hit his neck tonight.
Initially, he thought it was a slip from the veteran, but as he came back to throw the next punch, Taker would be sure to let him know that it was a receipt for breaking his eardrum earlier in the match. Batista would apologize, and they went on to have one of the best matches on the card. In another instance,
And that's, to Batista's credit, that's how you handle it. You stiffed the guy. You were careless. You got punched in the face for it. He handled it right. You apologize and you accept the fact that you screwed up and you paid for it.
incident with Taker, Shane McMahon ended up stiffing Taker with a monitor on a Raw before their WrestleMania match that caused him to get busted open. Backstage, Undertaker let Shane know that his receipt was going to come later.
Said, I'm sorry, gave him a hug, and then I closed my eyes, I stick my chin out like this. I'm ready for one. He went, it's all right, it'll come later.
Fast forward to
Yeah, like I said, oh man, I think I'd cry a little bit if Undertaker said that to me. He'd be like, oh, that's gonna suck so bad.
WrestleMania 32, Shane got his comeuppance as Taker would bear paw him with a monitor of his own on the outside of the ring.
And bear paws me. Whack!
Ooh, that was a good one.
Bear paws me. Whack!
Oh, now that's a receipt. I have no questions about that one. That had to hurt a little bit.
Wide open jaw.
Sticking with Shane McMahon, it's well known that his punches can look awful at times, but with the adrenaline pumping, he throws rapid combos, and when he doesn't miss
but he's not
completely,
good at
he
it.
lands them on his opponent flush in the face. One time he did this in particular was at Survivor Series
I do
2016,
remember hearing
where
about
he
this.
blasted Chris Jericho in
yeah.
the face. The punch didn't look great, but caught Jericho on the nose, who took a powder and kicked the steel steps in an attempt to alleviate his frustrations. Shane was even more clumsy when Jericho re-entered the ring, which justified his response.
Oh boy.
Jumped up and gave him like a Jean-Claude Van Damme double kick. I'm like, calm the fuck down.
Sticking now with
That's a quality receipt. You know what though? That is a good receipt because you're not going to kill somebody with it, but it's going to hurt. You can't see that angle, but I'm assuming if Jericho told the story, he's not lying. I'm sure he drilled him with the kick.
Double kick. I'm like, calm the fuck
Yeah.
down.
Sticking out with
That's
Y2J,
a good
during
receipt.
the Royal Rumble in 2003, Tommy Dreamer would enter the match wielding various weapons. Dreamer would then proceed to catch Chris Jericho with two tough shots from a kendo stick. The first one was hard, but didn't seem to rock Y2J as he asked for another, but the second was brutal. Jericho would then get his receipt back on Dreamer via a trash can lid and then a kendo stick shot of his own, as he then threw the kendo stick down in frustration before eliminating Dreamer with the help of Christian. During a brawl in
Now, see, again, it'll be interesting. I want to hear what you guys have experienced a lot more of interviews with the wrestlers, things like that, than have I. That looked like business as usual to me, too. And it could just be, my style of wrestling. Everything I did, that was my gimmick. Violence was my gimmick. I saw nothing in there. Certainly, and the garbage can lids, the kendo stick. I've had a kendo stick broken across my head. And I told him, I won't get into the whole story right now. We're watching a video. But it was a big payoff. And I told him, hit me with that kendo stick as hard as you can. It's just skin. That even wasn't going to concuss me. It was just going to rip skin.
inside a densely filled ring at ECW One Night Stand in 2005.
Oh, this, yeah.
legitimately
JBL was
beating on the Blue
yes.
Meanie, leaving his face bloodied in the aftermath.
JBL's
JBL,
a monster.
The years prior, the Blue Meanie mentioned he was a bully. This
A monster
lit
bully,
fire
yeah.
in Bradshaw's eyes, and when it came time to
I don't care for that kind of crap. Whatever. JBL was a decent enough in-ring worker, but I think he's an asshole with the things he's done. And again, as I said, I don't believe in shitting on people. I'm not shitting on someone. I'm giving an honest opinion. all the evidence is there. He's a bully.
Brawl at the end of
I
the
don't like bullies.
pay-per-view, JBL took this as an opportunity to pay him back. However, months later in a match where JBL faced off against the Blue Meanie, Meanie picked up the victory via help from Batista, but before the pin, it was the Blue Meanie's partner in crime with the BWO, Stevie Richards.
Yeah, I remember this.
Headlines, delivering one of the hardest to watch chair shots to JBL's head.
Oh, what is Stevie Richards?
See, it's not, for me,
Thrown so hard you can see the
it's not how hard, guys. It's where they hit you. Did he get him clean with the seat? Because if you that frame above the seat, that hurts. Then he got, look at that. You can see it right there. That's what he did. It's not how hard he swung the chair. It's where he hit him with it. That's two entirely different worlds. You get hit with that seat. I would always tell people, especially if they were new to doing this shit, you got to hold on to the legs, because when you hit me with the seat, it's going to try and open up. I don't want it to sandwich my head. So you hold the legs, hit me center of the seat. That's the best you can do for eliminating as much trauma as possible. When you hit him with that top part, you were looking to do damage.
hard you can see the pure anger behind it. Rikishi's always been known as a fun-loving,
like I say, it's Stevie Richards knows what he's doing. It's not how hard he swung that chair, it's where he hit him with it.
real character that never failed to entertain the people. So
Wow.
it was a surprise to fans
Where
when he lost his
he-
cool whilst
what part of the
wrestling a
chair he
tag
hit him
match
with?
in the WWF's former developmental territory, HWA, in December 2001. Rikishi wrestled against a team featuring Haku and Russ McCullough. A planned spot was to see Russ hold Rikishi in place for a kick from Haku, only for Rikishi to move, leading to McCullough getting accidentally hit instead. The problem
Okay.
was Rikishi was supposed to move to the left, but ended up moving right instead, meaning Haku's kick hit Rikishi hard in the face. This infuriated Big Quiche, who went to the outside, grabbed a fan's chair, and went straight for McCullough. Rikishi rained down chair shot after chair shot, completely bending the chair in half and forcing McCullough to retreat to the back. Rikishi was none too pleased with being potatoed, and there was a further altercation once the wrestlers got to the backstage area. It was there that Rikishi and other Samoan wrestlers threatened to beat up Russ. McCullough had already been told his contract wasn't going to be renewed,
anything
and he
about
was
this
allowed
one.
out of his deal early, straight after the match.
Yeah, I'd want out of that deal too. Because when they started that, I was like, no, if there had been an incident between Rikishi and Haku, I would have known about that. That wouldn't have snuck up. I mean, and Rikishi was a badass, which all those island boys are badasses, but nobody stacks up against Haku. These are good. These are really interesting. You guys, as always, let me know in the comments if you enjoy watching these and breaking these down with me. I love breaking down stuff in wrestling. Let me know. And let me know how cool you think my shirt is, too. Yeah.